Here, our topic today, Homeschooling 101, how to get started and succeed. But first things first, you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment and say, hey, Cindy, I'm watching. Share it into your social media and tag me. And guess what? Every week I hand out a prize for a lucky winner. All right. It's Cindy here, and I make hard topics easier for moms. So, we talk about a lot about grief and death and everything on this channel. But while I was doing all of those things, I also was in the process of picking out a school for my child because she was in a private Christian preschool all the way up to kindergarten, and it was time for me to figure out which path we were going next. So, if you are considering homeschooling your kids, I'm going to show you how to get started and how to succeed at this. So, let's get started. All right. So, about the time my dad got sick and passed away, Ellie was wrapping up preschool, and I was like, let's see how this is because my bringing up was I went to public school. You rode the bus, or you walked to school, and that's what I did from kindergarten all the way till I graduated as senior in high school. That was just what we did after I went through my church's preschool program. So then, when it was our turn to be parents and go through this and doing all these hard things that I was doing anyway, I was like, let's evaluate this and see what is going to be the best for her and what God put her on this earth to do. And we came to the conclusion that it was mostly going to be homeschooling. And I'll let you know how I knew it was going to be homeschooling because it kept coming up to my mind homeschooling, homeschooling, homeschooling. And my first reaction was, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. Okay, I gave you a clue. If you have something that's brought to your mind and you keep saying no to it, I'm going to give you a big spoiler alert. It's probably the thing you're supposed to be doing. That's how it is with me. The more I fight back against something, it's because I know that I'm supposed to be the one to do it. I have an itchy eye. My thing is surrender. It's not my best thing, and I learned to get surrender a lot better. All right, so when people come to me and ask me about hey, I'm thinking about homeschooling. I don't know. And then they tell me all the things. And it's always the things about, I don't think I'm good enough for it. I don't think I can do it. I don't know. I'm not a teacher. All the I don't know things that you don't think you're qualified for. Well, the Lord gave you your specific kid. So guess what? You're qualified. You're the best person for them because you literally birthed them, adopted them, brought them in their house. However, they got in your family, they were handpicked just for you. So you're all qualified for that. And then the second thing I usually do is I start asking them questions. I immediately like, you ask me a question, and this triggers 19 questions in me. I'm not going to do 19 questions with you, but I have my little notepad of like 3 good questions. Um, so they ask me a question, I answer with a question, and then I ask them, how does your kid learn best? And they know what that helps me do. Helps me know if they even thought about how their kid learns, like what their learning style is. And then if they do know, they'll be able to rattle it off real quick. And then you're like, okay, let's see how that works. And then the second question is, if they've been to school, what you didn't like about school? What did you not like about school? What didn't work? What wasn't working? What are we trying to fix? And then you ask them about what's your personality type and then how your kid works better so you can know that if you're going to have friction there, it's just because of personality type thing. If you adjust it a little bit, you'll have less friction. But as long as you know that if you're real rigid, like everything in alphabetical order and everything is color coded, and then you have a kid that never even fit into a box, you're going to have friction there just from the beginning. But if you know that you like a little order and they don't like order, and you can find the middle ground about what's best for you as the teacher of them and what's best for them as the learner, then you won't have any problems. It will be smooth sailing. And the last thing I always tell people is I take all of life as learning. You go to school for 9 months out of a year, you're there for this many hours, you have this many interruptions, so you got this much schooling. If you view all 365 days of the year as a learning opportunity, then you get a lot more schooling in than you think, a lot more education, a lot more learning. Like we go through every day, and I was like, I think I learned about 40 new things today. I was like, I'm good. I mean, I learned more out in the world exploring and asking questions than I would by like, here's a book and learn something. So that's how I say when homeschooling 101. You ask me a question, I'm going to ask some questions back. I will make this into a whole series for everybody. If you want to go through more questions that I go through and you're like, I can really homeschool. And you're like, Cindy, why are you talking about this? Well, we have like 2.5 weeks until our school starts here. Like, not for our homeschooling, but our public schools go back to school August 1st. So it's a hot topic right now because people are like, am I going back to school? Am I taking my kids out? What are we doing? Okay. So I have moms in the middle group too. This is why you need to be in there because there's a bunch of other moms that have either been there or right there going, oh, it's time for school again. Last year was a disaster. Are we going to do a disaster this year? Are we going to pivot and try to do something different? So join my moms in the middle group. It's in the link in the description of this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Love you all. Bye.